Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mahmoud and on this channel I pretty much talk about anything and everything that comes to my head. But it has to be kind of useful, like I'm not going to be throwing everything onto your face, whether it's important or not important. Today's topic is kind of so exciting for me to talk about because there is a lot of confusion. And as a reminder, on this channel, I'm not really talking pretty much scientifically or, of proofs. I kind of talk of my 17-year-old of experience in this life and the way that I personally perceive things from an Islamic or from a personal point of view. But pretty much I'm going to be incorporating my Islamic background in each video because I pretty much love this religion and it's one of the most phenomenal, if not the most, to be honest, the most phenomenal religion that I ever, read about. So today's topic is kind of so exciting, as I said, and we are going to be talking about the difference between spirituality, physicality, and mentality. I know. The words sound a little bit intimidating when you first hear them. And there is actually a lot of confusion about the first one, the spirituality one. But I'm gonna try to be talking from my subjective point of view, the way that I personally perceive it, as I said in the beginning. So we are going to try first, as usual, to linguistically define the word physicality, the word spirituality, and the word mentality. So we're going to briefly discuss the linguistic definitions and try to understand how linguists understand those three words. So the first word that we have for today is the word physicality, and it means the fact of relating to the body as opposed to the mind. The definition again is saying the fact of relating to the body as opposed to the mind. So from this definition, we understand that the word physicality is something related to human bodies or any kind of body. To be honest, to be more specific in the definition, it relates to any kind of body. Not just the human body, not just the animal body, anything physical that you can touch can be called a physicality. But the thing here that it opposed to the mind is not really, uh, you know, carefully put in that definition because we have a different component of the human nature, which is the spirituality, which a lot of people have conflicts when it comes to this area. Like a lot of philosophers, a lot of physicists, and you can talk on. So the last part of the definition of the linguistic definition is not really exact or precise in its meaning because physicality and mentality cannot oppose. So that's from my own point of view, from my own humble point of view. You don't have to follow anything of what I'm saying. And the next word that we have for today is the word spirituality, which linguistically can be defined to the quality of being concerned with the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things. That is kind of a correct and accurate definition because your spirituality, nobody ever saw their spirit, nobody ever saw their soul. So that is kind of an accurate definition in comparison to the one before, because your spirit is opposed to any materialistic things or any physical things of this world. The third word or the third definition that we have for today is the word mentality, and its definition, the characteristic way of thinking of a person or a group. To be honest, when I first looked this definition up, I didn't like it at all, but I found nothing better than this definition to put. Like basically all of the definitions that I faced are pieces of trash, to be honest. So I can come up with my own definition and say, we can say it's the quality of thinking and it's also centralized in one of the physical parts of your body, which is the brain. It's not really good, I know, but you can disagree with me in the comments, of course. But I think this one is a bit better. So now it's time to talk about those three words beyond the linguistic definitions. And we want to understand those words more thoroughly. So the first word, physicality, as I said, it's talking primarily about the physical things that you can feel, that you can touch, and it's the opposite of the next two words, which is the word mentality, because you cannot touch your mentality, because as I said, it's the quality of thinking, and it's centralized in the brain. So you cannot touch something that is abstract. So the first word, again, the word physicality, is talking about the physical things that a human being can touch, which is like your body, basically. You can touch your body, you can feel it, you can feel pain in your body, you can get injured, you can get wounded, etc., etc., etc. The list goes on. And the second word is the word spirituality, and that is the least understandable word between the three, amongst the three, to be honest. And a lot of philosophers agree about the nature of your spirituality, of your spirit, of your soul. And again, the scientific field is kind of having a difficulty understanding what the nature of this thing calls spirit, because it's not a materialistic, or it's not a physical thing that they can experiment, that they can analyze its attributes, its laws, etc. So the scientific field didn't give us a vivid answer for this question of the nature of spirituality. So it's not going to benefit us when it comes to this field. So for those of science lovers, it's not going to benefit you when it comes to the word spirituality, or the nature of spirit or soul. The last thing is the word mentality. The word mentality is really important. I think it's basically for me because using this gift or this grant can pretty much lead you to anything you want. I'm not saying that it's invincible or something like that, but of course it has limitations, but it can lead you to so many important facts, like you're using your mentality to discover science, to we reached by our mentality to space, and so many phenomenal things to talk about, but it's not the topic of today's video. So that was a little bit briefly talking about the three words beyond the linguistic definition. Thirdly, I want to talk about how these words are organized. Are they stacked upon one another, or are they, walking along each other, or how are they organized? That is even a tougher question to answer, because we didn't see the spirituality, so it's really difficult to say how it's located in the body, or is it even in the body, or it's in. Nobody knows the place that your spirituality is located in. But I'm going to talk about some of the visualizations that human beings over the time developed about this thing of spirituality and where it's located. Like the Chinese point, or the Chinese perspective about this whole thing of spirituality, is it's kind of like a circular. If you go to Google Images and search for something called the yin and yang and stuff like that, you're gonna find like it's kind of like a circular thing that is located in the center of your body, or it's in the kind of in the belly or something like that. It's not understandable why they visualized it like this. Maybe because it's centralized in the body and it spreads all of its energy to the rest of the body, so it has to be in the center. And it's getting more sophisticated. The more you think about it, it's just getting more complex. So that is, nobody knows how are they organized. Are they stacked upon one another? Are they walking all together? Nobody knows, and myself included. So we're gonna skip this point of how are they organized because I don't have any vivid, concise answers for this question. Now, the $100 question. What is the most important one of those components? Or what is the most important aspect of a human nature? As I said, the human nature split, no, I didn't say this, but I'm saying it right now. The human nature splits off to 3 different components. And they're basically what we're talking about today. It's the spirituality, the physicality, and the mentality. I'm going to give you a lot of money if you answer the question how many times I mentioned the word physicality, mentality, and spirituality, because basically I used them so many times today. No, I'm not going to give you money. I'm joking. I'm broke. Where was I? Yeah, we were talking about what is the most important one, or what is the most important component of those 3 components. And again, I'm going to be talking about this from my own humble point of view. You can disagree with me in the comments at any time. It doesn't really matter because I'm going to read the comments, I'm going to answer, and that's it. It doesn't really matter. So for me, the most important one to take care of is your spirituality. And because if you didn't accurately or properly took care of your spirituality, you're basically killing yourself, because it is something that you cannot understand. It is something that is beyond the human understanding. So you have to take care of it because you don't really know what are the consequences of you not taking care of such thing. Maybe it can, get you to suiciding. Maybe it can lead you to some crazy stuff. Nobody knows. So on the top of the pyramid of the most important components out of those 3, we have the spirituality thing. And then, again, from my humble own point of view, is the mentality thing. Because basically, this what can lead you everywhere. This is the kind of it's sitting in the driver's seat, and it's kind of heading you to whatever destination you want. So you have to carefully take care of this component because it's basically the fuel of your machine. So really take care of your mentality. And lastly, the physicality. The physicality is so important also to take care of. Note here that by saying that the spirituality is the most important, and then comes the mentality, and then the least is the physicality, that doesn't mean that you don't need to take care at all of your physicality. It's just a very bare comparison. It doesn't mean anything to anyone, but it's just from my own point of view, and that doesn't really mean that you need to take care of one, at the expense of the other. No, it doesn't mean that at all. So the last one is the physicality. Another important question: how to feed and how to take care of each one. As we mentioned through the video, like you need to take care of your physicality, your mentality, your spirituality, etc., etc., etc. How really we can take care of each one. Again, from my own humble point of view, the way that you can properly take care of your spirituality is by your religious beliefs. And that's why we see so many non-religious people. They always follow the materialistic things. They always follow the delusional materials and the delusional aspects of this life, and they end up, so many of them end up, unfortunately and sadly, suiciding or killing themselves or anything like that, and it's so sad. So the first thing to take care of is the spirituality, and you now know the way is the religious beliefs. At least if you're not a religious person, you can meditate, try to understand, try to think inside you, try to understand the deep side of your human nature. Don't just look for the materialistic things or to the materialistic world, because there's a wholly different world beyond what we're talking about, beyond what is known as the physicality or the physical things. And the second one is the mentality, how to really take care of your mentality, how to feed your mentality, in other words. Pretty much known to anyone reading or absorbing more knowledge, try to digest more comprehensible things for you, like reading about different things. Do math. Math is really good for your brain, and it's good for everybody's brain. So teach yourself more. Do more research. Read about more things. Read about your interests. Read about your non-interest interests. Like, read almost about anything and everything. And if you don't like reading about, anything and everything, just pick up your interest and just read about them. Why not educating yourself now? It's the century of knowledge, so you gotta be, up to speed with everything. Not literally everything like news and stuff like that, but you have to be up to speed in a way or another. And the last component that we are talking about today is the physicality and how to take care of it. And it's so obvious, like you need a healthy diet, you need healthy food, you need constant exercising, and all of that nice stuff. And one more important thing to mention, that it's not going to be fine and dandy to take care of all of these things all together. But you have to take care of all of them all together. Like, neglecting one component and prefer to take care of one component over the other is going to cause a lot of trouble. So I don't recommend doing that at all. Like, you have to take care of all of them all together. And that was briefly how to take care of your human nature components. And the last thing that is worth mentioning is when the disbelievers asked the Prophet about the Spirit. Because basically, the disbelievers were trying to get the Prophet into traps and to ask him so many different questions, but they couldn't actually trap him in anything, using any of those questions. And they also asked him about the Spirit by saying, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ويسألونك عن الروح قل الروح من أمر ربي وما أوتيتم من العلم إلا قليلا, which basically means they ask you, O Prophet, about the Spirit. Say, its nature is known only to my Lord, and you, O humanity, have given but little knowledge. The verse is saying again, they ask you, O Prophet, about the Spirit. Say, its nature is only known to my Lord, and you, O humanity, have given but little knowledge. So that's basically a mentioning to the difficulty of following or pursuing the path of the spirituality and trying to understand its nature and stuff. It's going to be a struggle, to be honest, to try to seek something that you can see, or trying to understand something that, all the superior one of all of us, or our Lord, is saying that it's only known for him, or its nature is only known for him. So why to bother, or why to suffer looking and trying to understand something that is going to be just an agony, and it's going to be a mental struggle. It's basically going to be a mental struggle. And that's it for today's episode. I hope you liked it, got something useful. If you want to disagree with me in the comments, it's really okay for me. Don't hit the subscribe button. I don't want you to subscribe. Don't hit the thumbs up. Just if you watch up to the very end, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.